has done his PhD from VBS Purvanchal University, UP. Specialization in the PhD was rural banking. Has completed his MBA in Faculty of Management Science, Banaras Hindu University, with a specialization in international business, international finance, international financial management, international economics. BCom honors from Faculty of Commerce at Banaras Hindu University. Also, company law office, uh, management, accounting, and economics were a specialization in BCom. Uh, he has worked as an assistant professor in Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Madhya Pradesh, from for the period of more than 4 years. Then associate professor of Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar, for 3 years, and currently serving as the professor. Then he has also held the administrative position Dean School of Commerce and Management Science, then head Department of Management Science, Dean Student Welfare, Chairman Anti-Ragging Squad, Coordinator PR Cell, Deputy Protocol Ignitu, then Warden, Coordinator, Placement Officer, Honorary Director, Publication Division, and Member Advisory Committee. So also he has served as a coordinator campus development, then member examination discipline, chairman committee for rules regulations, then member purchase committee, chairman BUS, then member library committee. He has also penned book. He's a life member of Indian Accounting Association, All India Association of Educational Research, Indian Commerce Association, Indian Accounting Association, Research Foundation, life member, Royal Association for Science-led Socio-Cultural Advancement, and many more. So, indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure that we have him here as a resource person. As also, he has delivered many books. He has participated actively in many conferences and workshop, and also working as an editor, reviewer, co-editor, associate editor of many national and international journals. So again, I welcome Kumar sir to this afternoon session of this NEP orientation and sensitization course. And I would now hand over the session to him. Over to you, sir. Gaurav, make a co-host too, sir. Yes, sir, you are a co-host now.
Yes. Okay, my voice is audible.
Yes, sir, your voice is audible. We have muted the participant, sir. When the lecture
Okay,
and
I am so sorry. Right now, I'm in my village, so there are a lot of technical glitch, but I have
no issue.
arranged it.
No issue.
Should I start lecture?
यस सर पार्टिसिपेंट्स आर म्यूटेड सर पार्टिसिपेंट को आप लास्ट में ही अनम्यूट करना है सर कुछ सवाल उनके रहेंगे तो यू कैन स्टार्ट द लेक्चर सर यू कैन टेक अ ब्रेक एट 3:30 4:45 3:45 सर फॉर 15 minutes.
Okay, okay.
I will take your leave, sir. I will take your leave.
So my voice is audible,
Yes,
Professor?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're always. Kindly unmute, sir. Your mic is muted.
Should I start my lecture, Professor? If everybody is here. Very good evening to all of you. Dr. Rafi, may I start my lecture? Good evening to all of you. Should I start my lecture? Should I start my lecture now? Okay. First of all, good evening to one and all present here. I'm here to deliver lecture on National Education Policy 2020. And number two, I have been allotted two lectures. Second lecture, I will concentrate on the NIP, National Education Policy, NEP, and business education. So the first part of my lecture will be concentrate on National Education Policy 2020, its recent issues and challenges. And I hope, because this is an NEP sensitization program, almost all the basics topics have been covered. There may be my lecture may contain certain points which has already been addressed by the previous speakers, but I would like to concentrate on the important points, and I would like to interact with you all guys. If there are any questions, any doubts in your mind, you may ask, because all of you are from our faculty members, and you have been given responsibility to implement the national education policy. And we know that the NEP 2020 will be implemented in its full form till 2040. It is not a 1 year or 2 year affair. It is almost a 20 years. It has a 20 years timeline. So it will take time to implement NEP 2020 in a full way till 2040 if everything is okay. So we know that the previous national education policy has been introduced in the year 1986. So this is a National Education Policy 2020. Before starting my lecture, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Marathwada University for inviting me as a resource person for this topic. And from the last, you may say 2 to 3 years, almost all the MMTC, Malvi Missions Teachers Training Colleges, they are basically conducting these courses. Why this NEP sensitization program? So that because you all guys are very important, you can say important faculty members, and you have responsibility to implement with, because it is a policy, and we know that the policy means a guideline. Policy का मतलब होता है एक गाइडलाइन. तो ये सभी गाइडलाइन है पूरे देश को बदलने के लिए. जो 66 पेजेस या जिसको हम बोलते हैं 60 पेजेस चलिए कि जो पॉलिसी है वो सफिशिएंट नहीं है. ये पॉलिसी का मतलब है गाइडलाइन. नाउ देयर विल बी लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच विल कम. यू विल सी लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. इवन इन 2025 you all guys will find that many new institutions will come into fold. Already the planning is going on. Okay, and there is going to be a change, you can say a structural change in the organizations which are taking care of the higher education especially. And you will find, you all will see it in 2025. And almost we have been observing that there is a single entrance test now for central universities. There is CUET. There is a single NET exam. So we will find a single regulatory body now, not regulatory body, but a facilitating body in the higher education known as HECI. So we are expecting that it will come into force. And we know that there are various granting institutions, research projects granting institutions like ICSR is there, ICPR is there, ICHR is there. So we might be seeing that these all bodies will be amalgamated. There will be a single granting institution in times to come. Okay. So now let me start my lecture, friends. Thanks to Marathwada University for inviting me. So this is 1 minute. So what is the vision of National Education Policy 2020? My slides are visible, friends. My slides are visible. Can anyone of you? My slides are visible? Okay. So, what is the vision of National Education Policy 2020? Number one, an education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. This is the vision. Vision is where we are and where we want to go. जो विजन का मतलब होता है वो होता है कि हम कहाँ हैं, कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं, और ये एक फिलोसफिकल स्टेटमेंट है. और नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी इज बेसिकली इज अ विजन डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. क्योंकि किसी भी देश का, एनी कंट्री कैन अचीव द स्टेटस ऑफ डेवलप्ड नेशन only with the help of a transformation in the education system, because education system is a tool to reform the economy, society of any country. So first of all, the vision of the National Education Policy 2020 is an education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by number two, it also wants to develop a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental rights, duties, and constitutional values, bonding with one's country, and a conscious awareness of one's role and responsibility in the changing world. And third one is, it instills skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. फ्रेंड्स, जो ये नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, इसका जो विजन है वो विजन है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर एक फॉर्म में हम कहें इसको, तो ग्लोबल सिटीजन बनाना, एक ऐसा सिटीजन बनाना जो वसुदैव कुटुंबकम की जो हमारी धारणा है, उस धारणा, जो हमारा विचार है, उस विचार को अचीव कर सके. अल्टीमेटली ग्लोबल सिटीजन को अचीव करना, जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को ध्यान में रखते हुए विकास के बारे में सोचे. Next, what are the key principles of NEP? Let us see what are the key principles of NEP. So number one is, key principles of NEP are respect for diversity and local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. So these are the key principles, friends, we will discuss. Number one is equity and inclusion as the cornerstone of all educational decisions. Number two, respect for diversity and local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. Number three is community participation, encouragement and facilitation for philanthropic, private and community participation. Friends, एक चीज मैं यहाँ से, should I be bilingual? So पहला जो community participation की जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, अभी तक जो हम लोग पढ़ रहे थे, उसमें जो करिकुलर और एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी होती थी, अब नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में जो करिकुलर और को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज होंगी, एंड यू कैन अर्न क्रेडिट फॉर दैट, लाइक फॉर द एनएसएस there is a program which is basically run in the higher educational institutions also, जिसको हम एनएसएस बोलते हैं, एनसीसी बोलते हैं. तो if you are participating in the NSS or NCC, you can earn certain credit. We will discuss. Basically, for one semester you have to earn 20 credits. For a 3-year bachelor degree, you have to earn how much? You have to earn 120 credits. If you can earn 120 credits, you are a bachelor. And there, because the government in NEP 2020, there will be a 4-year bachelor degree. So extra 40, if you earn 160 credits, you will get bachelor degree with research degree. अगर आप 4 साल का अगर ग्रेजुएशन कोर्स करते हैं, तो आपको मिलेगा ग्रेजुएशन विथ रिसर्च. And after that, after completing only 1 year of master degree, you can directly enroll yourself into PhD program. ऐसा कर सकते हैं. मतलब अभी जो मैं आगे इसको डिस्कस करूंगा आप लोगों को कि कैसे एक रिफॉर्म आ रहा है. और अभी तक आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो फर्स्ट ईयर के बाद अपनी जॉब को छोड़ देते हैं. तो इसमें एंट्री और एग्जिट का जो एक प्रोविजन है वो बनाया गया नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में. वी विल डिस्कस लेटर ऑन. यू कैन एंटर एट एनी टाइम, यू कैन अर्न क्रेडिट एंड यू कैन एग्जिट, और अकॉर्डिंग टू योर चॉइस यू कैन. और जी पूरी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है फ्रेंड, इट इज ऑन कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच. कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच क्या होता है कि जैसे अभी तक जो एजुकेशन थी वो टीचर सेंट्रिक थी, टीचर को क्या पढ़ाना है, क्या फ्रूट करना है, उस हिसाब से जो है बच्चा जो है पढ़ता था। अभी गवर्नमेंट ला रही है कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच। कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच क्या है? व्हाट इज कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच? द स्टूडेंट्स कैन सेलेक्ट द बुके ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स व्हिच हैज बीन ऑफर्ड बाय द यूनिवर्सिटी। जैसे एक एग्जांपल हम लोग लेते हैं कि कोई भी बच्चा यदि फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री पढ़ रहा है तो उसके साथ साइकोलॉजी या सोशलॉजी को भी ले सकता है, ये उसकी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है। तो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी। और मैंने इसको कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच क्यों कहा? क्योंकि कैफेटेरिया अप्रोच का मतलब बच्चा जैसा चाहे वैसा अपना बुके ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स सेलेक्ट कर सकता है, वो अपने हिसाब से अपने सब्जेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशंस को बना सकता है। तो फर्स्ट की प्रिंसिपल है इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन, सेकंड इज रिस्पेक्ट फॉर डाइवर्सिटी एंड लोकल कंटेक्स्ट, थर्ड इज कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन। जो कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन, क्योंकि अभी तक हम लोग देख रहे थे कि जो साइंस है इट वाज इन द लैब, एंड गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग दैट द साइंस मस्ट कम इन द सोसाइटी, साइंस फॉर सोसाइटी। व्हाट इट मींस? इट मींस दैट दी जो भी हमारे प्रयोग हो रहे हैं, चाहे वो सोशल साइंसेज में या साइंसेज में, उसका बेनिफिट कम्युनिटी को मिलना चाहिए, एंड कम्युनिटी मस्ट बी अफेक्टेड बाय दी व्हाटएवर इज गोइंग ऑन इन द यूनिवर्सिटी। यूनिवर्सिटी शुड नॉट बी डिफाइंड एज ए बाउंड्री। अभी तक हम क्या कहते हैं कि 400 एकड़ का लैंड है, उसमें यूनिवर्सिटी है, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट चाहती है कि उसके बाहर जाए। इसलिए आपने देखा होगा कि पिछले 10 सालों में मैनी यूनिवर्सिटीज, व्हेन दी प्रणब मुखर्जी वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, सॉरी प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, उन्होंने एक इनिशिएटिव लेके आए थे कि सभी यूनिवर्सिटीज को 5-5 गांव लेना चाहिए। लेने का मतलब क्या था कि स्टूडेंट फॉर सेवा, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं दे शुड गो इन दी विलेजेस, दे शुड लर्न दी सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स क्या चल रही है वहां पे, उनके लिए क्या सॉल्यूशंस वो दे सकते हैं। और इसी तरीके से यूनिवर्सिटीज को क्या करना था? दे हैव टू टेक सर्टेन villages, adopt certain villages, and these villages should be are supposed to be nourished by the universities. तो ये क्या प्रैक्टिकल जो बेनिफिट है, किसका प्रैक्टिकल बेनिफिट? प्रैक्टिकल बेनिफिट ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी टू द कम्युनिटी मिलना चाहिए था। थर्ड, फोर्थ जो है यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड वी आर सीइंग दैट द टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशंस आर इंक्रीजिंग इन द हायर एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस। नाउ जो ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग है, आर्टिफिशियल जो हम आजकल जनरेटिव एआई, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, आने वाले समय में जो लैंडस्केप है एजुकेशन का वो चेंज होगा थ्रू आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। और जितनी एडुटेक कंपनीज हैं, एनईपी भी कहती है कि जो यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं इन कोलैबोरेशन विद द एडुटेक कंपनीज दे कैन लॉन्च द कोर्सेज, एंड वी हैव सीन दैट ऑल दोज ग्रेड 1 यूनिवर्सिटीज, जो कैटेगरी 1 यूनिवर्सिटीज फ्रेंड्स, जो नैक में A++ यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, उसमें से कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज को यूजीसी ग्रेड 1 यूनिवर्सिटी कह रही है। व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट ऑफ द ग्रेड ए यूनिवर्सिटीज? जो कैटेगरी 1 जिसको हम बोलेंगे, जो कैटेगरी ए यूनिवर्सिटीज कैन लॉन्च दी ओपन एंड डिस्टेंस लर्निंग प्रोग्राम्स, ठीक है, ओडीएल प्रोग्राम्स। रिसेंटली आई कैन गिव वन एग्जांपल that there is a university in Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, known as the Guru Ghasidas University. They have launched an online programs. Why they have been able to launch the online programs? Because its reason being it is has been categorized as the category 1 universities. तो जैसे जैसे कैटेगरी 1 यूनिवर्सिटीज विल बी देयर, दे विल बी गिवन ऑटोनॉमी। विद द हेल्प ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी they can you can say help the you can say touched population of the India, those who has been educationally backward, वो लोग उसको आप कर सकते हैं फ्रेंड्स। तो यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी वी आर सीइंग, एंड इट इज गोइंग टू इन टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग, रिमूविंग लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स फॉर दिव्यांग स्टूडेंट्स एंड इन एजुकेशनल प्लानिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट। फिफ्थ वन इज it also helps in emphasizing the conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. अभी तक की जितनी भी नेशनल पॉलिसीज रही हैं, they have been hammering on one point, that is rote learning. अभी जो हमारा जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, दिस पॉलिसी बेसिकली ट्राइज टू इंट्रोड्यूस द स्किल बेस्ड लर्निंग, और जिसको हम ओबीई कहते हैं, आउटकम बेस्ड लर्निंग। जो जो एजुकेशन है, ओबीई आउटकम बेस्ड जो एजुकेशन है उसकी बात करता है, जिसमें प्रोग्राम आउटकम्स, लर्निंग आउटकम्स, जो कोर्स आउटकम्स, ये सभी चीजों, प्रोग्राम स्पेसिफिक आउटकम्स, इसकी बात हम करते हैं। तो आउटकम बेस्ड एजुकेशन is going to be the center point of the national education policy. Next is unique capabilities. This policy basically try to recognize the unique capabilities, recognizing and identifying them in each student, and critical thinking and creativity to encourage the logical decision making and innovation. And next one is continuous review. Continuous review means it will be based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Friend, we will come to that point. Now let us see how we are going to, through NEP 2020, how we are going to ensure universal access to education at all levels. Number one, there will be multiple pathways, that is multiple pathways to learning involving both formal and non-formal education modes. Friend, you might be knowing that the UGC has introduced one you can say scheme that is known as Professor of Practice. What is Professor of Practice? Professor of Practice is doesn't mean that a person holding the PhD degree will be only eligible for teaching in the universities. There may be someone who is renowned in his or her field from the society. Society may not have the formal degrees, but they can teach in the universities, and they will be known as Professor of Practice. And there is a handsome amount which will be paid to these guys. Number two, bring back dropouts, to bring dropped out children back to school, because we are being a developing nation. We want to achieve the Viksit Bharat at the 2047 dream. That is till 2047, when we will be completing our 100 years of experience in this Amrit Kal. In the next 25 years, we are aspiring to become the developed nation. And for becoming the developed nation, it is necessary to bring those who are basically drop out from the schools. Okay. Next is alternate centers. There will be alternate and innovative education centers. And friends, there will be peer tutoring that is suitable for all categories, business and personal presentation. There will be learning outcome. It will be on achieving desired learning outcomes at all levels, and building school, promoting both government and non-governmental philanthropic organizations to build school. Friends, earlier we have seen that the educational institutions, they are basically either they are formed in the form, they are established through the Societies Act or through the trust. But nowadays there is in companies law 2013, there is a separate section 25 companies, section 8 companies, sorry friends. This section 8 companies can be engaged. They can be part of, they can establish the universities and colleges also. So there is a new mode that is known as section 8 companies. Earlier there was only societies and trust. We have already seen. Now, what is the existing academic structure at present? It is number one, it is 10+2 structure, which is already there in our country. And it will move to a new academic structure, which will be known as 53-34 structure, 5-3-3-4 structure. That is Anganwadi, they are known as preschools, and for ages 6 to 16, 10 years in the old structure, and for 10+2 means for 11th and 12th, the age should be between 16 to 18. Now the new academic structure have 4 parts. Number one is foundational. Next one will be preparatory. Then there will be middle and secondary. So for the foundational, there will be Anganwadi, preschools, Bal Vatikas, and already in the Kendriya Vidyalayas and Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, it has been introduced, this Bal Vatika scheme. That is, those students who are of the age from 3 to 6, they can be part of the Bal Vatika. Next, for the first and second, they should have age of 6 to 8. So we are observing here that the formal education will start from the age of 3 till 6, that will be part to 8, from third year, age of 3 to age of 8 years of age, that will be known as foundational part. Number 2, after that the student will go from 3 to 5, that is known as preparatory part, then middle, and then secondary. So it will be 5-3-3-4 structure. A new pedagogical and curriculum structure of school education will be that is 53-34 form. 3 years in Anganwadi, preschools, and 12 years in school. It means it is 3 plus 12, means 3 plus 12. So 5-3-3-4 model. So friends, these are the this will be the new structure. Now let us see. There will be a ECCE framework, that is National Curricular and Pedagogical Framework for Early Childhood Education, will be drafted by NCERT. NCERT has been endowed with the responsibility to frame this structure. that will be known as National Curricular and Pedagogical Framework for Early Childhood Education. Number two, there will be multifaceted framework that is comprising of alphabets, languages, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor play, puzzles and logical thinking, problem solving, drawing, painting, and other visual art, craft, drama and puppetry, music and movement. Next, there will be a school preparation module, a 3-month play-based school preparation module for all grade 1 students to be developed by NCERT. So NCERT, which is located in Delhi, National Council for Educational Research and Training, it will prepare a module of 3 months, which will be known as a school preparation module for all the students who are part of grade 1. So this will be actually a bridge type of course when the student will be moving from the Bal Vatika to class 1. Now there will be another, you can say, research and best practices. So NCP FECE will be aligned with the latest research on early childhood children education, which is known as ECCE, and national and international best practices. Friends, so this is all the changes which we will be observing. So early childhood education learning in the formative years. So what is the purpose? Purpose is to develop curiosity, logical thinking and problem solving, arts, crafts and music, relationship with nature, color, shapes and alphabets and numbers, teamwork and collaboration, play-based and discovery-based learning, ethics, self-identity, etiquettes, behavior, and emotional development. So friends, we will be observing all these things in times to come, because the work has already been started and NCERT is already concentrating on this, developing this thing. Okay, friends. So already NCT is working on this. So now coming to the next slide. Friend, knowledge of India. So this is one of the important thing, because we have lost our glory in the we have seen that the Indian have lost their glory. So it is the need of the hour that we must recognize. We must think that India need to be a developed nation, and until unless we are not we don't see it from our inner self, it will be not possible. So knowledge of India is going to be one of the important part. So video documentaries on inspirational luminaries of India in science and beyond. Students will be given a logical framework for making ethical decisions at a young age. In the later years, we will find expanded along themes of cheating, violence, plagiarism, littering, tolerance, equity and empathy, equality and empathy. Traditional Indian values and all basic human and constitutional values will be developed in all students. Excerpts from Indian Constitution will also be considered an essential reading for all students. And basic training in health, mental health. Mental health is very important, friends. We will see that the government of India is emphasizing on appointing the counselors because after COVID-19, 2019, we have been observing that this problem has increased. Good nutrition, personal public hygiene, disaster response and first aid will also be included. So it will also help will be incorporated in accurate and scientific manner wherever relevant. Indian knowledge system, including tribal knowledge and indigenous traditional ways of learning, will be covered. The specific courses in tribal ethnic medicinal practices, forest management, traditional crop cultivation, natural farming, extra will also be made available. Curriculum will also try to include knowledge from ancient India to modern India, as well as future aspirations, and scientific explanations of the detrimental and damaging effects of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs will part of curriculum. So this is the change we'll see. Examinations in grades 1 to 8. First, key stage assessment, census assessments at key stage in class 3, 5, and 8 to track achievement. And you might have gone through the news, friends. Earlier, recently in the last week only, the government of India the Ministry of Education has abolished the scheme of not having any barrier in the class 5th and 8th. Now the students will be assessed in the class 5th and 8th also. It will be not automatic gateway where the students can only pass from 5th to 6th. They have to appear in the exam. So assessments will be at the key stages of class 3, 5, and 8 to track achievement. Number 2, moving away from rote learning, assessment of core concepts and knowledge, higher order skills and its application in real life situation, moving away from rote learning. Instead of rote learning, the National Education Policy 2020 is emphasizing on the skill-based learning. Achievement of critical LOs. Here, LOs means learning outcomes. To testing to focus on achievement of essential learning outcomes. And the results of school examinations will be used only for developmental purposes and for contribution, monitoring, and improvement of the school system. So there will be a lot of reforms in examination in grades 9 to 12, including board exams. Board exams will be made easier as they will test primarily core capacities and competencies. Number 2, viable models to be explored, annual semester modular exams, 2-part exams, objective type and descriptive type. Now the examination system is going to be reformed, and there will be objective type questions and subjective questions in all the exams to test the writing skills, communication skills, as well as whether the students they know the current affairs and facts or figures or not. Guidelines will be prepared by NCERT in consultation with the SCERT. We know that there are various state council for educational research and training in many states. So the NCERT will consult with the SCERT's Board of Assessments and Parak. So we will discuss what is Parak. Parak is a new, you can say, this is for assessment of the teachers who are basically in the education. So, okay, so we will discuss it beginning with mathematics and all subjects would all offered at 2 levels. Teachers to be prepared for a transformation in the assessment system by the 2022-23 academic sessions. So we are late, friends. It has because of the COVID, this target could not be achieved. Each school board shall ensure equivalence of academic standards in learners' attainments and standard norms and guidelines for school boards through Parak National Center. And this Parak National Center will be we'll see what is that. So transforming the culture of assessment. There will be continuous tracking of learning outcomes of each child. Board exams to be more flexible with assessment of essential skills. Friends, till now, the learning system was based on the rote learning, but now the different type of skills, whether the global citizenship skills, whether the students are aware of the sustainable development or not, communication skills, interpersonal skills, all these skills which are necessary for any student to excel in the life will be assessed. Assessment to focus on core concepts like higher order and foundational skills, AI-based software to help track the progress of the students to enable them to make optimal career choices. So AI here means artificial intelligence, friends, and we have seen that the artificial intelligence is going to be the part and parcel of the education system. We cannot ignore this because artificial intelligence will be a big challenge for the teachers also. So we need to learn these AI technologies so that we can embed in the teaching learning process and make it more fruitful for the students. National Assessment Center will help in bringing greater synergy in board exams conducted by various boards of assessments. And there will be self-assessment and peer assessment also. Peer assessment of the students, peer assessment of the faculty members also. And there we know that there is a lot of reform because of the controversy in NTA. Recently, the government has created a lot of post in NTA also, which will work to offer a high quality common aptitude test to eliminate the need for taking coaching for these exams. So NTA will basically you can say the scope of the NTA is going to increase in the near future. Why in near future? Because the NTA will more focus on the conduct of the national level test for the students. So okay, now there will be multilingualism and the power of language learning. That is medium of instruction up till grade 5 and preferably till grade 8 and beyond will be home language, mother tongue or local language. Friends, I would like to share one you can say development with all of you. Recently, the Indira Gandhi National Open University has especially for the MBA programs, all the MBA course materials in IGNOU, the materials which is supplied to the students are known as self-learning materials, SLMs. The MBA books, SLMs, are basically in the English language. Now we have been successful in converting the MBA material in Hindi. The conversion of the MBA self-learning materials in Odisha is already in the process, and almost in the 11 languages. Soon you will find the IGNU material will be available to all the learners in almost 11 languages, and in future we are expecting to expand it in 22 languages. So there should not be any language barrier with the student. If they want to do their MBA in Odia or in Malayalam, they can have their courses, and the IGNU is also going to give them opportunity to write the examination in these languages. So we will find that the medium of instruction, medium of examinations in times to come will change. So the home language or mother tongue or local language will be given emphasis. The language of India, a fun project activity will be taken by every student, the language of India. So there will be 3 languages to be taught, will be decided by state or union territories, and all classical languages will be widely available in schools as options. Okay, friends. So this will be a great, because whenever we have to think, we think in our mother tongue, we think in our home language. Okay. So there is lot of language barrier which is there among the students, especially with the students who are basically in the rural areas, who are in the backward areas, or those areas where the students are not getting sufficient opportunity. So this barrier is going to be removed when this national education policy will be implemented 100%. Okay, so now let us see, not only for this national education policy thinks of the students, but also it also intends to empower the teachers, because there will be a technology based comprehensive teacher requirement planning forecasting exercise to be conducted by each state. There will be career growth to be available for teachers within a single school stage: foundational, preparatory, middle, and secondary. And there will be national professional standards for teachers, NPST, by 2022. This has still not been framed, but I am expecting that soon this NPST will be in public domain. With the objective of this particular NPST is to develop the professional standards for the teachers, and teachers to have more autonomy in choosing aspects of pedagogy in classroom teaching. Friends, the pedagogy, the teachers, they will be given more flexibility, more autonomy to select their own pedagogy. So pedagogy, it may be group assignments, it may be lecture, there may be some practicals. So all these things the teachers can decide in the classroom. There will be academic leadership positions to be made available for teachers. So we will, in times to come, we will be observing that a lot of academic leaders on various positions will be from the teaching fraternity. So there will be also teacher professional development, merit-based tenure track system. A minimum 50 hours of continuous professional development will be compulsory for the teachers, and improving service environment through better infrastructure at school. Friend, there is a concept of there is a concept of school complexes. So a school complex, what is a school complex? A school complex is basically a combination of 2 or more than 3 schools where there will be sharing of resources. Maybe it may be the physical resources, it may be manpower resources. So now, for ensuring equity, friends, we know that there are certain aspirational districts. What is aspirational districts? Aspirational districts are basically backward districts on various parameters, economic and social parameters. So these aspirational districts will be given more emphasis in the national education policy. So what is intervention? The critical problems and recommendations regarding ECCE, foundational literary and numeric, assess enrollment and attendance will be targeted in a concentrated way for socially, economically disadvantaged districts. A special mechanism for children belonging to tribal groups to receive quality education. So tribal areas where basically the technology and the infrastructure is not fully available. So that will be the focus point of this national education policy. SEZ, friends, there is a new concept of SEZ. What is SEZ? It is a special economic, it is special educational zone. So we have seen that in the economic field there has been SEZ, special economic zones. Now for the SED, large population from SEDGs, socially, economically, and disadvantaged group, to be declared special education zones. Why they will be declared special economic zones? Because they will be given more incentives, more, you can say, subsidies to establish the educational institution. Even in most of the country, we know that we have more than 850 districts all over India, near about 800 districts. So we will, in times to come, we will see in every district there will be one university, and this affiliating university structure will be dismantled, and the colleges, big colleges, will be given more autonomy to run their, to convert themselves into deemed universities or universities. So fee waiver and scholarship will be offered to meritorious students from all SEDGs on a large scale. There will be counselors in all the schools. There will be some counselors, recruitment of counselors in schools. Why we are discussing here about counselors? Because in tech-led society, we have been observing that there will be there are many students who are basically mentally disturbed. So for them, there will be some counselors also. Additional schools, there will be setting up of additional Jawaharlal Nvodaya Vidyalayas and KVKs in aspirational district SEZ. So what is the meaning of SEZ? Here, aspirational districts, friends, the aspirational districts are those districts where the economic and social parameters are not at par with the developed districts. Okay, so learning outcomes will be there, focus on attainment of learning outcomes of children belonging to SC, ST, and OBC. Okay, friends, so the ensuring of equity is basically the central point of the National Education Policy 2020. Now let us come to integrating vocational education at all levels. How we are going to integrate the vocational education at all levels? Number one, there will be some Lok Vidya. What is Lok Vidya? Lok Vidya is basically the knowledge developed in India and will be made accessible to students. Here, Lok Vidya here means this particular thing will be developed in India only. Lok Vidya means that Vidya, that education is basically is not, they are part of the Lok Sanskriti. This Lok Vidya will come from the Lok Sanskriti. So this will be developed by this is basically the Indian education knowledge, Indian knowledge, which will be shared with the students as Lok Vidya. Number two, there will be practice-based curriculum, that is a practice-based curriculum for grades 6 to 8 to be appropriately designed. There will be number three is there will be skills framework, that is national skill qualification framework will be detailed further for each discipline, vocation, or profession. And there will be open distance learning mode, courses to be offered through open distance learning mode. We know about the MOOCs, we know about the SWAM. Okay, so this MOOCs and SWAM, and recently the University Grant Commission has already allowed the universities and the students to at least acquire 40% of their credits from SWAM or MOOCs. Okay, so we will see that this MOOCs and SWAMs will the portion of the MOOCs and SWAM in the teaching will increase, and the students can get their 40% of the credit from there also. Vocational crafts, all the students of grade 6 to 8 will intern with local vocational experts such as carpenters, gardeners, potters, artists, etc. to develop a vocational craft. And last, exposure to vocational education. By 2025, at least 50% of learners shall have exposure to vocational education. Friends, I accept that these targets are not easy to achieve. Okay, because India is a big country having large population, diversified infrastructure. Our infrastructure is not as the rural, and there is a large divide between the infrastructure in the rural area and in the urban area. So it is not easy to implement, but the intention of the national education policy is very kind. That is, it wants India to achieve the Viksit Bharat target. Now, let us see setting up of Parak. I have been discussing about the setting up of Parak. What is this Parak? Parak is basically the Center for Performance Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. This is the full form of Parak. So there it will be involved in assessments, that is shift towards competency-based assessments. And it also targets to achieve the 21st century skills, that is promoting critical and creative thinking aligned to 21st century in classrooms. What are the objectives of Parak? That is setting norms, standards and guidelines for assessment and evaluation. Number 2, guiding the state achievement survey. Number 3 is conducting the national achievement survey, that is known as NAS, monitoring achievement of learning outcomes in the country. So this is the objective of Parak. Now let us see about the ODL education system, online and digital education, that is inclusion and access, enhance educational access to disadvantaged groups, including the young students. We know that the concept of the physically challenged and all that, it has been removed by one term which is known as the Divyang. Okay, now the official term for this class is Divyang. So inclusion and access of this digital platform, there will be digital platforms and ongoing ICT based educational initiatives to be optimized and expanded. There will be blended learning, emphasizing on effective modes of blended learning. Pilot studies will be there, that a series of pilot studies to be conducted. Content creation, digital repository and dissemination technology, integration in teaching, learning and assessment, expansion of platforms, expansion of existing e-learning platform like Diksha and SWAYAM, etc. So one nation, one digital platform. This is going to be reality, that is known as Diksha. SWAYAM, we know that many universities have been endowed with the responsibility to develop the SWAYAM courses. And if you are developing the SWAYAM courses, ultimately in the caste promotion, that is known as career advancement schemes, and also in the you can say direct recruitments also, it has certain points. You can earn certain points, you can earn certain numbers, certain you can say you can earn you can increase your API, that is known as academic performance indicator, by developing a SWAYAM course. Now let us see what this national education policy talks about the adult education and lifelong learning. So innovative initiatives for adults with help of community participation and technology integration. So this is the target. Number 2, integration with higher educational institutes, integration of adult education with HAIs and other public institutions. So you can say that this policy also 1 minute, friends. So we are adult education and lifelong learning. So technology-based options like technology-based high-quality options for adult learning, such as apps, online courses, modules, satellite-based TV channels. We know that there is Swayam Prabha channel, there is Gyan Darshan, and all these kinds of channels. So online books will also be offered, that is ICT equipped libraries, adult education centers to be developed through government and philanthropic initiatives. So the adult education curriculum to include following 5 types of programs: critical life skills, vocational skills development, basic education, continuing education, foundational learning, and numeracy. What are the major reforms in higher education? That we want to achieve the 50% GR by 2035. Number 2, holistic and multidisciplinary education, flexibility of subject, that is multiple entry and exit. UG programs may be of 3 to 4 years. PG programs may be of for 1 or 2 years. Like those students who complete their bachelor degrees of 4 years, they can have PG degree of 1 year, and they can directly enroll themselves into the PhD programs. Integrating 5 years bachelor's and master MPhil to be discontinued. You will not find any MPhil type of program in times to come, because it has been discontinued in the National Education Policy 2020. There will be credit transfer and academic bank of credits, and HEIs, research intensive, teaching intensive universities, and autonomous degree granting colleges. So we will be observing that there will be research intensive, teaching intensive universities. There will be three kind of universities. One university, category one university will be focusing on research. Number two, the second type of university will be focusing on teaching and research. And third, the autonomous colleges will concentrate on only teaching. Model Multidisciplinary Education and Research University, also known as MERU, in or near every district. So we will observe that there will be a MERU in each and every district. So there will be graded economy, academic, administrative, and financial, phasing out affiliation system. National mission on mentoring will be there, independent board of governors. So government wants to give more autonomy to the higher educational institutions. There will be a single regulator for higher educational, excluding legal and medical. So there will be HECI, Higher Education Council of India, online self-disclosure based transparent system for approvals in place of inspections. So we'll find also common norms for public and private HEIs, private philanthropic partnership, free fixation within broad regulatory framework, and public investment in education sector to reach 6% of GDP at the earliest. Friends, till now the contribution, we are only spending almost only 2.9% of our GDP on education, research and development. So this education policy, National Education Policy 2020, also emphasizes on achieving the target of 6%, and it has been the recommendation of almost all the education policies since independence that the government need to invest at least 6% of the GDP on education. Till now, we have not achieved this particular target. Now, let us see. There will be a National Research Foundation, NRF. The chairman of the NRF will be the Prime Minister. Ex officio chairman will be the Prime Minister of India. So NRF is a soon to be set up autonomous body envisaged under the new National Education Policy 2020, considered to be the one of the biggest announcement under NEP. It will look after funding, mentoring, and building quality of research in India. The NRF aims to fund researchers working across streams in India. In order to bring non-science disciplines of research in its ambit, NRF will fund research projects across 4 major disciplines: sciences, technology, social sciences, and arts and humanities. Lack of fund allocation has often been cited as one of the biggest reasons behind the lack of researchers in India, and NRF aims to cater the same. Now, while the draft NEP 2020 also offered 500 national PDF and 500 national doctoral fellowship every year across disciplines and fields, and 3 and 5 years, the same doesn't have a mention in the final policy. Friends, other reforms in higher education, there will be an NRF, internationalization of education will be there, and we have seen that the first foreign university in India has established its campus in Gurgaon recently. That university is University of Southampton. So this is the news I am sharing with you. Already a global university like University of Southampton has started its campus in Gurgaon. Integration of vocational, teacher, and professional education. This is the other reform in the higher education. Setting up of a new quality HEI has been made easier. Standalone HEIs and professional education institution will evolve into a multidisciplinary. There will be a special economic zone for disadvantaged region. There will be a National Institute for Pali, Persian, and Prakrit. National Educational Technology Forum will be there, NETF, which will be responsible for technological intervention in the higher education. MHRD to be renamed as Ministry of Education. This target has already been achieved. We know that the name of the Ministry of HRD has been changed to Ministry of Education. Now, friends, this is the last slide of the first lecture. In 2021-22, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education has come. Formulated National Curricular Framework for School Education. 2022, we have seen that there is a common guiding setup of National Professional Standard for Teachers. This was the timeline which has been framed when the NEP 2020 was introduced. The teachers prepared for a transformation in the assessment system. In 2025-26, we'll see that attaining universal foundational literacy and numeracy in all primary schools for all learners by grade 3. State and union territories government to optimize resources through the mechanism to group or nationalize schools such as school complexes. At least 50% of the learners exposed to vocational education in the schools and higher education system. Friends, we will see that in 29-30, there will be universal provisioning of quality early education development and care. There will be teacher education will gradually be moved into multidisciplinary colleges and universities within minimum degree qualification, that is 4-year B.Ed. Only educationally sound multidisciplinary and integrated teacher education programs will be enforced and TEIs will be converted into the multidisciplinary institutes. Last, as during the start of my lecture, I have already shared that policy is fully operational. Following this is a comprehensive review will be undertaken in 2040. So the timeline is 20 years. This policy came in the year 2020 and fully it will be implemented in the year 2040. And okay, now friends, thank you to all of you. So I hope my next lecture will start at 3:45. So if there is any question and answer, friends, I am ready to give, because all these topics have been already covered. I hope it has been covered in your lectures. So if there is any question, I will love to answer. अगर आपके पास कोई प्रश्न है फ्रेंड्स तो आप पूछ सकते हैं जी, अगर मेरी आवाज आ रही है। मेरी आवाज आ रही है फ्रेंड्स? अगर आ रही है तो आप लोग क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं जी। Friends, you can ask questions. You can type also or you can ask. If you have any question, please ask. I'm here to answer. अगर मित्रों कोई आपका प्रश्न हो तो आप पूछ ले, मैं आपका जवाब देने के लिए यहाँ पे तैयार हूँ। अदरवाइज हम लोग अपना 350 पे 335 हो रहा है, मैं 15 मिनट्स का ब्रेक दे रहा हूँ। 350 पे हम लोग फिर अपना आंसर अपना स्टार्ट करेंगे लेक्चर। इज इट ओके? शुड वी स्टार्ट आवर लेक्चर एट 350? यदि आपका कोई प्रश्न है तो आप लोग पूछ लें। Thank you, friends. I am so sorry because I am in my village. Autonomous universities are increased, then why government is going to spend 6% on education? Here autonomous का मतलब friends यहाँ पे है 6% on education का मतलब सिर्फ education में research and development भी है। Okay, friends, and this target has been set since independence. जितने भी आज तक के education commission, education policies बनी है, education commissions बने हैं, reviews हुए हैं, उसमें 6% का टारगेट रखा गया है। अगर आप चाइना और यूएसए को लेते हैं तो वहां पे बहुत सारा जो है पैसा सरकार एजुकेशन सिस्टम पे खर्च करती है। ठीक है फ्रेंड्स, तो ये 6% ऑन एजुकेशन का मतलब इट इंक्लूड्स रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट आल्सो। और आप लोग देख रहे होंगे लगातार आईआईटीज लगभग हर स्टेट में आज की डेट में एक आईआईटी है, चाहे वो जम्मू कश्मीर हो, आईआईएम है, एम्स है, तो ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर मेडिकल साइंसेज जो है वो लगभग हर स्टेट में धीरे धीरे ओपन हो रहा है। तो जब हम किसी भी संस्था को खोलते हैं तो उसमें जो एक्सपेंडिचर होता है वो भी इसका पार्ट है। तो गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू ओपन ऑलमोस्ट 1 यूनिवर्सिटी इन एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट, तो वेदर दे आर पब्लिकली फंडेड या वो दे माइट हैव बी पार्ट ऑफ द सेक्शन 8 कंपनीज। तो फ्रेंड्स ये करना बहुत जरूरी है। ऑटोनोमस यूनिवर्सिटीज इसलिए है क्योंकि जो एफिलिएशन यूनिवर्सिटी का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको धीरे धीरे गवर्नमेंट खत्म कर रही है। ठीक है, और इसमें एक कॉन्सेप्ट और लेके आने वाली है जिसको हम बोलते हैं क्लस्टर यूनिवर्सिटीज। अगर आप लोग देखते हैं, अगर आप लोग देखिए जम्मू में ऑलरेडी क्लस्टर यूनिवर्सिटी है, दूसरे स्टेट्स में क्लस्टर यूनिवर्सिटी, जहाँ पे 3-4 कॉलेजेस को जोड़ के एक क्लस्टर यूनिवर्सिटी बनाया जा रहा है। कई स्टेट्स में ऑलरेडी जो ऑटोनोमस इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं दे हैव बीन कन्वर्टेड इनटू यूनिवर्सिटीज, क्योंकि जब हम यूनिवर्सिटी बनाते हैं तो जो पॉलिसीज बनाने की ऑटोनॉमी मिल जाती है। और आपको एक पॉइंट मैंने आपको और शेयर किया, सर कैन यू कवर इन सेकंड सेशन हाउ टू डेवलप स्वयं कोर्सेज? तो दिस फ्रेंड चित्रा Astakar, because IGNU is basically the pioneer in developing of the SWAM courses. I can talk on this. This was not part of my lecture, but I can share my experiences with you. Or we will be discussing about the national education policy and business education in the next lecture. So I will be here at 3:40 is there. I will be here at 3:50. I request all of you to please rejoin at 3:50 so that 3:55, sorry, 3:55, so that I'm giving you 15 minutes break, so that and you can come up with your questions for this session also. I am ready to answer if there is any doubt. So we'll be come back at 3:55 after 15 minutes. Thank you to all of you. Friends, my voice is audible. Should we start the lecture? Friends, should we start the lecture? So, yeah. So, my topic of presentation will be national education policy and business education. Friends, the national education policy, there is something which is very special about the business education or management education in the national education policy. If you have gone through the document, the National Education Policy 2020 document, you will not find much of the keywords for business education in National Education Policy. But the why lot of things have not been discussed about the management education, because almost most of the points which has been discussed in the national education policy has already been covered earlier also in the management or business education. Let us have one example. If a person from commerce background, from social science background, from humanities background, from technology background, or any of the field, the management education is open to all the students. Either you are pursuing your education from you have your undergraduation in BBA or BCom, or from any field you can take admission in management program. Number one, so this has already been implemented in the management education. Number two, national education policy talks about the vocational education, internships. So in management education, in business education, this has already been embedded in almost all the courses, friends. So if anyone who who is pursuing the MBA program or BBA program, it is compulsory to go through the research projects. It is compulsory to go through the summer internships. So this has already been included in that. There is multiple entry and exits. There is a bouquet of subjects from where you can select your specializations. Like in management program, you can have specialization in finance, marketing, international business, artificial intelligence, anything. There are n number of fields. There are tourism also. There are n number of specializations which are offered in the management education programs. Okay, so if you go through the national education policy, and if you go through the system of the management education in India, you will find that almost maximum points have been covered in the management education. Like management education or business education is a skill based education. So this, because after doing MBA, almost all the students, they want to have their job in the corporate world or in the PSUs or in the government institutions. So there are a lot of opportunities. You try to learn various types of skill in any management program. Like there is a separate paper in management education जिसको हम बोलते हैं business communication. There is also calculation skills like business mathematics is also there. Operation research is there. So management education, business education is a cocktail. I will use a word. It is a cocktail subject because a lot of subjects have been drawn from the social sciences field also. Okay, friends. So so if you go through the national education policy and what has been existing in the management education earlier, you will find that almost maximum points have been covered here also in the management education before coming of the national education policy. So you can subject your specialization according to your interest. Anyone can take admission. Earlier also there was a provision in some of the institutes that if you complete your 1 year of course, you can have your PG diploma. And after like IMA, All India Management Education, they have given this type of facility earlier. So there are various points which has already been implemented in the management education. Friends, now coming, I will not throw most of the time on explaining these points, but let us see what are the factors which are favor in India right now. If you go through, evaluate the Indian economy right now, India has various advantages. Because why I'm talking about, friends, all these factors, all these advantages, because business education is directly linked with the economic growth of any country. It is an industry linked program. It is an industry linked program. If industry is doing well, if the service sector is doing well, it means the demand side will of the demand side of the employment will already will consider to be favorable for the management graduates. You might have found that if recession comes or depression comes, the attraction for the management programs will reduce, because management business education is directly linked with the economic growth of any country. So let us see, friends, what are the factors which are in favor of India. Number one, India has a locational advantage. Okay, that I will discuss. There are various cultural factors. It is a multilingual, multicultural country, India, and you will find, friends, that why it has a locational advantage. Because if you go through the geography India, our country is basically surrounded from the three sides. We have been surrounded by sea. We are not a landlocked state like Japan and Bhutan. They are landlocked states. We are not a landlocked state. We have a navy also. We have air force. We have army. Our location, our position is very strategic. We have a strategic geopolitical location. That's why you might have seen that earlier, most of the invaders, why they do come to India? Because uh, India was endowed with lot of resources, and these resources are diverse in nature. We have diverse season. If you see the season, the climate of India has diverse characteristics. Language has a diverse characteristic. If you go through the land also, here you can find rivers, mountains, you can find the grasslands also. That is not possible in, you'll not find these things in other countries. And as far as the languages are concerned, we have 22 recognized languages in India. Okay, now let us see what are the demographic factors. Demographic factors are that, why we are talking about the demographic factors when we are talking about the management education, because we have a large chunk of youth population in India. Almost 50% of our population is youth, more than 50%, friends. So these 50% of the population cannot be employed in the government jobs. We need skill-based education so that this population can be diverted into the economic growth of India. They can contribute in the economic growth, not only by becoming the job seekers, but also the job givers. So here the importance of the demography comes into factor, because the youth, then, and we have been observing from the last 10 years that there are a lot of startups, and these startups are like Paytm, Flipkart, you can name few. These are the Indian startups, and they are doing like anything. So we need to exploit the young, and this demographic dividend. When we are talking about the demographic factor, this is a demographic dividend for our country. And in order to not make into a demographic disaster, we need skill-based education. So demographic factors are favorable to us. Political factors, we have a stable government. Nowadays we are observing that from the last 10 years, the 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 days has gone for the coalition governments. We have a stable government in the center, and this is favorable especially for the economic development of any country, not only for India, for any country. We talk about the military factors. Our military is more than, as far as the army is concerned, more than the 16 lakh army personals we have in our military. So our military, army, navy, and air force, they are like anything, and lot of funds have been invested by the government in India for modernization of that. Okay, economic factors. We as far as economic factors are concerned, we are the third largest economy as far as the GDP is concerned. We are a 3 trillion economy, and we are aspiring to double it in the coming years. Okay, so our GDP, our inflation growth rate are under control, and our see the other parameters. as far as economic parameters, we are doing well. Why we are saying that we are doing well? Because in spite of the crisis in the 2008 and 2010, there was a debt crisis across the world. And we have seen that the big banks like Lehman Brothers and all that, they have collapsed. They have become bankrupt. But our financial system is still strong. And we have observed that there are a lot of amalgamations and mergers in the banking sector. We need big banks. And for that, the government is consolidating the bank so that these big banks can sponsor, they can fund the big projects, because India needs big projects now in order to achieve that target of Viksit Bharat 2047. So these are the factors which are favored in India, friends. Locational advantage there, cultural factors. There is also demographic, political, economic, and all military factors. Now, what is the locational advantage of India, which we have been discussing? See, the India is rich in natural resources, which benefits the global supply chain, propelling India as a manufacturing hub. And we have seen, friends, after the COVID-19, we have seen that many companies are shifting their base from China to India. They are interested here because we have a rich human resource. We are rich in natural resources. Our banks, our financial institutions are very strong. So number one. Number two, where's our central location at the head of Indian Ocean. That is, we have a long maritime boundary. Number three, we have a strategic position midway between the Far East and the Middle East, beneficial for trade. We are in between with Far East and the Middle East. So it is beneficial for the trade also. Himalayas act as a natural boundary towards East, and we are busy air routes passes through India connecting East, Southeast Asia and Australia on the one hand, and Europe and America on the other hand. So this is the locational advantage of India, friends. And number two, what is the demographic advantages of India? We have a large population. This should not be considered as the demographic disaster. This is a demographic dividend for us right now. Number two, primarily we have a young population. We have a global diaspora. We have a multilingual population which has a command on English, and this is favorable to us, friends, because we have seen that in the last 2-3 decades how the Indian IIT graduates have dominated, and the graduates from tier 2 colleges also, they have dominated the Silicon Valley. And that is because of our technical skills. They possess the mathematical skills. And that's why we are focusing on the STEM education, science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. Okay, so we are focusing on the STEM education in the National Education Policy 2020 also. So this is the demographic advantage. As far as the political advantages of India is concerned, we have democratic Republicans. We well represent vibrant democracy, world largest democratic country. Okay, we are the world largest democratic country in the world. We have good foreign relations with the rest of the world. Our foreign policy has been tweaked in order to make a cordial relationship with the rest of the world. Role in international, we have good role in international politics. Recently, we have observed that even the country like Ukraine has been demanding help from us. So we have a good role in the international politics. Multipolarity is there. In a multipolar world, India is a natural choice of countering mainland China. So that is candidacy for Security Council. We have a strong candidature for the permanent seat in the Security Council. That is, here Security Council means United Nations Security Council. Now let us see about what are the economic advantages of India. We are booming and resilient economy. We have hub of science and technology, including strategic space expertise from ISRO. We have major tourist attraction of the world. So not only the major tourist attractions, but also the patients all around the world are attracted towards India, because we are now forerunner in the medical tourism also. We are attracts medical tourism for cheap and expert medical facilities, globally recognized IT powerhouse, information technology powerhouse. We have a large ready market, makes easy for companies to grow quick, becoming startup unicorns. And I have already discussed that we have more than 100 unicorns at present. Okay, friends. Now, coming to understanding NEP, integrating vocational education at all levels. This I have already discussed, friends, in the previous slides. I will try to focus on one thing, that this policy focuses on लोक विद्या. यहाँ पे लोक विद्या का मतलब है फ्रेंड्स, जो हमारे गांव में, जो हमारे रूरल एरियाज में, जो हमारे ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन के पास जो विद्या है वो लोगों के पास पहुंचे, क्योंकि उसका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन आज तक नहीं हुआ है, तो वो लोगों तक पहुंचे, वो लोक विद्या. तो दिस वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड in the previous slides. So this we have discussed that we are aspiring for one nation, one digital platform. These are the major reforms which we have discussed in the previous slides. These are the major reforms. Please go through there will be a national mission on. So we have already discussed National Research Foundation. These are the other reforms. Why I am talking about this? Because the management education will also be affected by these reforms. Okay, because in the case of management education, all you will find, like friend, I would like to give you one example. Many IIMs are now running the 5-year integrated LLB programs. 5-year integrated LLB programs. Okay. Some IIMs are planning to start the B.Ed programs also, education B.Ed programs. Okay, so because the national education policy focuses on establishing the you can say there will be multidisciplinary Meru organizations. So you'll find the IITs, they will be converted into universities, or they will be running lot of n number of courses in times to come. So the standalone institutions will be not there. There will be some institutions we are running BA, BSc, BCom courses also. In IITs also you'll find and IIMs you'll find these type of courses in times to come. Okay, now let us see what is NEP for management education. As I have discussed that interdisciplinary approach, the management graduates, friends, in management education is a single education, which I have already discussed that this discipline already incorporates almost all the positive points of the National Education Policy 2020 before its implementation, before its coming into force. Because as I have discussed that in management education, in MBA program, anyone, there was no barrier to discipline till date. Okay, anyone having degree in any branch can take admission in MBA program. So this has already been implemented. Flexibility and choice, which I have already discussed that you can take your courses from the same platforms, and UGC AICT has already you can say allowed to grab at least 40% of the credit from the SWAM courses. For example, the total credit to be earned, minimum credit which has to be earned by a MBA graduate is 80 credits. We know that 20 credits per semester. MBA is a two-year program. So 20 into 4, it is equal to 80 minimum. In many universities, it is of 112 credits, it is 120 credits, 110 credits, but minimum is 80 credits. Out of 80 credits, the students can earn 840%. 80 into 40% of 80 is 32. So 32 credits can be earned through SWAM and SWAM courses. So this is the kind of flexibility which is available to the students. So they can enroll themselves. So many these courses are free of cost. You don't have to pay the price for attending these courses. Almost in most of the universities, the SWAM platforms are available. So a student has a choice. That promotion of entrepreneurship. Friends, business plan, preparation of the business plan, you will find in almost all of the management education institutes, there are various programs on preparation of the business plan. The students, they are supposed to prepare a business plan, they have to execute it, they have to present before the panel. So promotion of entrepreneurship, because if management education doesn't means that you are preparing only job seekers for the public sector undertakings or for the private sector. We have seen that many management graduates, they have started their own startup. So entrepreneurship education is also to be integral part of the management education. It was, but it has to be increased so that these management graduates can open their own ventures. Nowadays, you might be knowing, friend, there is a concept of IIC, Institute Incubation Center, IAC, Atal Incubation Center. So what are these incubation centers? The incubation centers basically helps students to in incubating their ideas. At that, if you go with if you go with any student go with any idea with the IIC, they basically helps in nurturing that. They basically guide the students from where to earn the credits, where you can go for the funding, what are the problems you can face. They also provide the managerial and technical consultancy. So research and innovation push is their emphasis on skill development. Friends, that's at that point I have been hammering on from the last 1.5 hours, that the rote learning era has gone. Now it need to be a skill-based learning. We have seen, friends, even students who have completed their master degree are unable to write one paper, one leave application. If you tell them, they will be unable, most of the students, because it is not my statement, it is the statement of the NESCOM. They have conducted a survey in the technical, in 50% of the students who are passing from the this technical institutes, they are not able to solve the problems. Okay, so 50% of the graduates are not employable. So emphasis is on skills development, industry academia collaboration. Friends, if you go through the foreign universities, you will find that almost all the foreign universities, they have collaboration with the industry. Industry used to give them projects. Industry, used to give them grants and all that. And they are these universities are supposed, to whom the industry has given the grants, they are supposed to develop some prototype, they have to come with some solution. If they are funded for these social sciences project, they are supposed to come with certain solutions. Okay, so in Western countries, there is a good integration between industry and academia, but this we usually lack in our country. There is industry, it has certain demand, and our course doesn't fulfill the aspirations of industry. So it is the need of the hour that whenever the course curriculum is prepared, the persons from the industry and academia, they should collaborate, they should hammer on, they should do the brainstorming, and the syllabus should be made in such a way that the management graduates are able to compete in the real world. Now, professional development program for faculty members and technology integration. So this is the NEP. The NEP talks about all these things for the management education. Management students form almost half of interns in India. Friend, this is the data which I'll be sharing, that internship trends 2018. See, in media 20.8%. If you go through this is the data of the Business Insider. If you go through the data of 2018, you will find almost 50 those who are taking the internships. I have discussed in the previous slides, friends, also, that the internship has become the important and integral part of the formal education in the National Education Policy 2020. At present, in 2018, before the implementation of this particular NEP 2020, before coming into force, almost 50% of the interns are from the management graduates. This is the report of the Business Insider. Now, what are the reasons for demand for management education in India? First of all, it provides a student with actual work experience. Friends, management education, for the first 2 semesters, the students are expected to read almost all the core subjects, and in the second year, that is in the third semester and fourth semester, they are expected to take specializations. In first year, semester 1 and semester 2, they go through finance, marketing, and HR, all these core subjects. But in the second year, third and fourth semester, they are basically supposed to select the specializations. Okay, and between the first year and second year, they are expected to go as in the summer internship programs. Why they are expected to go in the summer internship SIPs? Because so that whatever they have learned in the classrooms, whether they are implemented in the real world or not, how they have to behave with their boss, what is the working condition, how they have to adjust, because getting a job and doing that, these are two different things. So So the management education basically provides a student with the actual work experience. Number two, it provides organizations with a specialized talent pool. Friends, the benefit of the industrialization is that it has is the division of work. When the after the industrial revolution, the division of work, which has been this point has been discussed by the Adam Smith in his book The Wealth of Nations, that he has promoted the specialization. So far in the industrialized world, the industry need specialized people. Why they need specialized people? In order to solve the special cases, in order to special problems. Okay, so if why specialization is offered in the management education? Because the student has a sufficient exposure to particular specialized field. Number three is it prepares the students for a corporate life. Friends, the campus life, there is a difference between the campus life and corporate life. In campus life, it is a real world, and corporate life is a real world. It means from classroom to boardroom. If the students are supposed to move from the classroom to boardroom, they are expected to equip themselves with the certain skills, because we know that the top level management, they need to have conceptual skills. Middle level management, they are supposed to have social skills, and those who are serving at the lower level in any organization, in any corporate world, they are supposed to have certain technical skills. I mean, there are three types of skills which are needed for a management graduate: technical, social, and conceptual skills, depending on the level at which the management graduate is working. So this management programs helps students, because all the almost the MBA graduates are expected to join at the middle level, maybe middle lower level, but they need more social skills. Technical skills they have, but they are supposed to have technical skills, social skills. So these social skills are basically part of the management programs, because social skills here also means interpersonal skills. So it helps in preparing the student for a corporate, because what happens, if you are working in the middle level of any organization, you are supposed to transfer the communication, uh, what is going on at the lower level to the top level, and what has been policy has been framed at the top level need to be communicated by the management graduates who are working in the middle level to the lower level. So interpersonal becomes sort skills you might be knowing. There are two types. So hard skills are basically important for surviving in the organization, but soft skills are required for getting promotions. And here soft skills here means interpersonal skills, how much you have good relations with your colleagues, how you speak, how you communicate, because our body language, even the best communication is considered to be what you have not spoken and you have transferred your ideas. So if you are not speaking and you are able to transfer anything which you want, that will be considered with the maybe considered as the best communication. Communication doesn't means you should have good English. Should be good in English. Having good in English or in any language is good, but your non-verbal communication is also very important here. Okay. Now, reasons students should opt for management education. Number one, develop key management skills useful in practical world. So when the students they opt for management education, it helps in developing key management skills. Number two, become employable and industry ready. So we know, friends, the industry requirement is different from the requirement of a self-employed person. So management education not only prepares the students for self-employment, but also it helps in making them, you can say that it is the management program is the management program doesn't, the MBA program doesn't suppose not to give employment, but to make these students employable. Friends, MBA institute is not an employment exchange. It is not supposed to give employment, but it is supposed to give these students employed. These are two different things: making employable, being employment. If you make any student employable, he or she will be able to grab the opportunity in the market. In India also, we have observed that there are a lot of employment, but we don't have sufficient number of candidates, even candidates. Why? Because the skill sets of the organization does not matches with the supplier of the skill, that is the employee. An introduction to business world right from classroom. When you become the part of the MBA program, you are able to have some, you come to know about the business environment. There is a paper of business environment in management programs. So you come to know about what is the business environment in the country, what are the issues, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities. So from the right one, from the day one, you become aware of the economic and business environment of the country and the world too. Be your own boss. So it helps in, if you are aspiring for becoming a self-employed person. So after doing your MBA, you can be your own boss, learn about multiple disciplines, because as I have discussed that management is a cocktail subject. Lot of subjects contribute in the management education. Even you learn sociology. Sociology is also part of management. So there are certain paper, there is paper related to economics, there are paper related to psychology, there is papers related to behavior, there is a paper like consumer behavior. So when you go through the management education, you have exposure to large number of subjects, not only subjects which needs technical skills, but also subjects where you can sharpen your interpersonal skills. So group discussions, interviews, mock interviews, these are already part and parcel of the management education. So this 2-year program is a very rigorous program, where whatever you have learned till graduation, you can practice it in this MBA programs. So these are the reasons why the students are basically they aspire for the management education. Now coming to the next factors impacting individual employability and higher education structure. So these are the factors: the structure of the higher education, student choice, individual employability. So individual employability basically depends on two things: the demand side factors, that is availability of jobs, labor market signals, quality, and supply side factors basically have three factors, that is quality education, educational institution, matching academic knowledge, employability skills. Okay, friends, so these are the factors which are basically impacting the individual employability and higher education structure. Now let us see reasons behind the trend of companies hiring management graduates. What are the reasons? Number one, fresh graduates make for valuable investments. Number two, they are more techno savvy. So the management graduates are more tech savvy. They are fresh graduates, bring in new perspectives. Friends, the fresh graduates, they have a lot of ideas. They have Josh. You can say they have zeal in their mind. They have fire in the belly. So they have new perspectives also. In longer run, they keep the industry alive and flowing, and they are good at self-learning. So when you interact with the management graduates, you'll find that these students are basically good at self-learning, because 50% of the classroom is in the class, and 50% it is expected that the students they cover from their home assignments, or they have to have self-learning. Okay, without self-learning in management programs, you cannot be a good student. What are the various career prospects for management graduates? These are marketing executive, MIS, retail manager, sales executive, HR executive, and all that. What are the career avenues for MBA graduates? Human resource management, information technology, business analytics, marketing, finance. These are the possibilities are very endless. So the USP of management education is there is a linkage between academia, industry, and society. Okay, so this is the main USP of management education. It incorporates the academic inputs. There are academic inputs from industry, and inputs from society also. And if you talk about the specialization that will be benefit management graduates in post-pandemic and AI-driven world, we'll find that design, research, and development is one field. Number two is entrepreneurship. Data analytics is there. Healthcare management, mental health management, digital marketing, and management students are at advantage for future job boom, because we'll be observing that there will be a lot of jobs in data analytics, healthcare management, and mental health management. So friends, if you have observed as an academician, you find that in the hospitals also, now big hospitals, they need MBA graduates. Why they need MBA graduates? For better management of the hospital and mental health management also. I have seen that many MBA graduates, they are running the platforms. They have already made the platforms to support the students if they are not feeling mentally good. So one of my friend in Mumbai, he has already started his startup. He doesn't have any, you can say, the background of psychology or sociology. He has been a BTech graduate. He has done his MBA in marketing, but now doing very good in mental health area. Okay. For entrepreneurship, you know that for entrepreneurship, you need not to be a MBA graduate, but if you do your MBA, you come up with a lot of skills. It helps in not only establishing the entrepreneurial ventures, but also in running it in a better way. So these are the emerging fields, friends, after COVID-19. And why I am talking about the post-pandemic era, because this national education policy has been introduced in the Corona crisis. So this policy need to be taken as an opportunity, not only from the students who are pursuing their MBA programs, but also those who are basically from the other fields. Okay, there is a need of, friends, when we are pursuing our classes from 1 to 12, we from till even till MBA, we basically try to diversion of knowledge takes place. Why? What do you mean by divergence of knowledge? We used to study each and every area: social science, marketing, arts, finance, accounts, everything in science, physics, chemistry, math. Okay, all subjects. We have a n number of subjects, array of subjects which are available in the market. Okay, and but after completion of our course, when we do something, we need to have convergence of knowledge, because the purpose of education is to take decision whether it is right or wrong. Friends, I'm just repeating my words. The purpose of education is only one. And what is that purpose? The purpose is to know what is right and what is wrong. Either you do your PhD, either you do your post graduation, either you are a teacher. An educated person means, what is the meaning of an educated person? Educated person means that he or she is able to take right decisions only in one line. If you can take right decisions, it means you are educated. So education has only one purpose. It basically helps in your logical thinking, and this logical thinking helps you in taking right decisions in your life. Okay, so these are the specializations which will be basically, we can say, the hot cakes in the post-pandemic era. Now let us see what are the core entrepreneurial attributes we are targeting about, and the national education policy. Why I'm talking about the entrepreneurial education? Because this national education NEP 2020 focuses on the is focusing on the uh, uh, vocational education from class 6th onwards. Friends, if you go through the case studies of the South Korea, you will find that there, and we know that there are a number of companies which are from South Korea and which are dominating the Indian markets. Hyundai. Let me take one case of one company, Hyundai. Hyundai is a brand in car market. Okay. So you found that how it is dominating the car market, it is from South Korea. In South Korea, the students, they have invested very well in the vocational education. And you find that in Japan also. So if you go through the percentage of the students who have basically gone through the vocational education, South Korea will be considered as the number one country. If you go through the transformation of Singapore as a country, if you go through the history of Singapore before 1965, you'll find the population density of Singapore is very high in comparison to India. as far as the population and the area of Singapore is considered, it is the per kilometer population in Singapore is very high. It is more than 10,000 near about. It is 8,800 something. In India, it is only 459 or 460. But they have made a transformation. Singapore has made a transformation after 1965. And you'll find in top 500 universities, there are a lot of universities from Singapore also. Very small country, developed nation, but they have focused more on the vocational education. South Korea has invested like anything in the vocational education. And what is the purpose of the vocational education? The purpose of the vocational education is to develop the entrepreneurial acumen in the students. Okay, so the management education, this next NEP 2020 wants to address the problem the problem of the youth in the country. And this problem of the youth is that they need a good economic environment, good educational environment, so that they can nurture their idea and they can make their dream true. Now, the shift, there is a shift, you can see this generation, Gen Z, they want to do something from their own. And for that, the core entrepreneurial attributes are required. Like you can see, these are the core attributes. The management education, business education basically addresses all these things. Core attributes are courage, commitment, determination, leadership, opportunity, ambition. And as far as the desirable attributes are concerned, it is intelligence, capacity to inspire, values, energy, health, and emotional stability. And being macho, perfectionist, impulsiveness, being anti-authoritarian, counter-dependency, knows it all, and outer control. So these are the non-entrepreneurial attributes, friends. So the core entrepreneurial attributes need to be developed through the business education. Who is the entrepreneur? So you can see here, through help of this matrix, if creativity and innovation is high in matter, there is an entrepreneur, there is a promoter, there is manager and administrator. General management skills, business know-how, and networks. So friends, this era is of networking. I would suggest one book, very small book of 50 to 60 pages. The name of that book is Networking, a very small introduction by Oxford University Press. Please go through that. Networking, networks, a very small introduction. Networks, a very short introduction. Networks, a very short introduction by Oxford University Press. If you go through that, you'll find that almost in the mercantilist era, there was an era. The world was dominated by those who have a lot of land holdings. When the economy was based on the agriculture, the era came when the world was dominated by the industry. When the industrial revolution took place, the industries. Now India is aspiring to become a knowledge-based economy, and this knowledge-based economy dream will come true only through the knowledge workers. And these knowledge workers, basically, they have to create and co-create the knowledge. And for the co-creation of knowledge, it is required that there should be good networking. Okay, and this networking skills is very important, friends, for the success in the managerial field also. Now you can go through who is an entrepreneur. This is clear from this matrix. Now, crafting a personal entrepreneurial strategy, peeling the onion. No two prospective investors and stakeholders. That is area, I know area, what you see is what you get. Number two, blind area. We do not know what we do not know, but you do. Okay, so this is the peeling the onion. Until you don't peel the onion, you not get the taste of it. So crafting a personal entrepreneurial strategy, this is the strategy which I have discussed. These are the area 1, area 2, area 3, and area 4. This is the unknown area, no ventures creation or risk free. So the rule of the game, friends, in life is more risk, more gain. No risk, no gain. If you don't take risk in your life, you cannot create wonders. For creating wonders, you have to take risk. And risk taking is one of the, you can say, skill, is one of the skill of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who takes risks to create ventures. So if you should have certain risk taking attitude. And friends, in our society, the risk taking is not promoted. It's not promoted. Earlier, if you are a person from the rural background, or from a person in your family, if he or she, your father is a government job holder, he will always try to push you for doing the government job or government job. But this used to happen, but this is not the you can say current scenario. Now risk taking ability in the young population is going on, and it is good for the country, because we need more and more entrepreneurs. Why we need more and more entrepreneurs? Because without entrepreneurs, you cannot become, our country cannot become a developed nation. Entrepreneurs are basically act as a catalyst in any economy. Why they act as a catalyst between the natural resources, financial resources, and human resources. These three resources are basically combined together in order to make economy great. Now, crafting entrepreneurial strategy, profiling the past, profiling the present, getting constructive feedback, putting it all together and thinking ahead. So why I have framed it like a bulb? Because until unless it is not on, you cannot get the light. So crafting a entrepreneurial strategy, it should be a strategy where the entrepreneurs can be motivated for thinking ahead. Now, this is the Timon's model of entrepreneurial process. You can see here, if there is a opportunity, resources, and team. Who is basically an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person who basically exploits the opportunity. If you can exploit the opportunity at the right time, as an entrepreneur, you can become the leader. See, friends, if you go through the great businessmen in India, like Tata's and all that, even in Ambani, Wipro, you'll find that they have started their ventures. Like if you talk about let us see the two case studies. Tata. Do you know that Tata has a great software company like TCS? Earlier in 1904, this group has started its companies by starting a steel company in Jamshedpur, Tata Nagar, which is located in Jharkhand right now. But Tata is not only known for steel nowadays; it is known for TCS also. They have diversified themselves into where in the software field. In the same way, Wipro was basically engaged in the oil production. They started their business with the oil production, but now Wipro is known for a topmost software company in India, one of the topmost company in India. So what it means? Reliance. Let us see the case of Reliance. Reliance started its business with Vimal as a brand, a cloth brand. But we do not remember Reliance for clothing business. Nowadays, we remember it for uh, like for a petrochemical complex, which is located in Jamnagar, Gujarat, Asia's biggest petrochemical complex. They are number. It is known for Reliance Geo in the information and technology. So what it means? It means that entrepreneurial, the management education uh, they have started their business from something, and they are known for something nowadays. It means they have been able to cope up with the challenges and challenges, and you can say the barriers. They have able to face the cross the barriers, and they have been able to face the challenges, and now they are excelling in their field, because adaptability is one of the skill which is required for managers. So National Education Policy NEP 2020, especially in context of management education, tries to make the students, the learners, we will say learners, in such a way that they can cope up with the global challenges. They need to be shaped as a global citizen. And how they can be groomed as a global citizen? by introducing the courses like Lok Vidya, which is local to the country, and also the courses like sustainable development, which can help in solving the global problems. From Lok Vidya to sustainable development, it means not only local education, but also the education at par with the global institutions. So this is the model of entrepreneurial process. Friends, when is an idea an opportunity? The essence of five attributes, it is important to know the differences between features, products, and companies. Real business opportunities have the following attributes. Friend, this is the second last slide. So I will request you all to ask questions. So I am keeping you 15 to 20 minutes for asking the question. And if there is any question, I will be happy to solve it. They create or add significant value to a customer or end user. The need for the product or service is pervasive. The customer has a high sense of urgency and is willing to pay for a solution. They address a true market problem with some form of competitive advantage, and they have robust market growth margin and profitability characteristics that can be proven. The founders and management team have collective domain experience that matches the opportunity. Friend, this is all about when an idea become an opportunity. So these are the five attributes it is important to know. And creation of idea, nurturing the idea, and getting idea converted into a product is also very important. So friends, when we talk about product, what is product? Product is basically a solution to a problem. Basically, managers are supposed to give solution to the problem, and product is basically a bundle of benefit which basically addresses the problem of the customers. Let us assume television. What is television? TV is a product. Okay, what basically it solves? It provides entertainment. If you are feeling bored, it is a problem that you are feeling bored at the home, and if you have been given television, you can have entertainment. So the one problem has been solved. Like air condition in the summer season, if you have air condition, if you are facing a problem, so solution is air condition. If you have a car, it can move you with speed, in a very short period of time to the destination. It means it is solving your problem. So for a manager, the solution of a product is basically for him, for a manager. For him, it is a solution for any problem. So whenever we are talking about the management education with respect to National Education Policy 2020, it means that the NEP 2020 intends to develop the managers, entrepreneurs in such a way so that they can not only solve the economic problem, but also the social problem and the customer's problem also. So how the social problems can be solved? You might be finding nowadays the management education have done reform like anything. There are research projects in the fourth semester. These research projects may be related with the social problems. Like in one of my student, when I was teaching before IGNU in some other central university, I have given a project to my student that there was a lot of jam. There was a lot of jam in the road because of the traffic. So I have given this problem to my student, that go and study why this type of traffic jam is taking place. And he has come up with one idea that, sir, if the traffic is diverted from this place, here we can have some diversion and all that, we can solve the problem of traffic jam. This report was submitted to the traffic police, the RTO, road traffic officer of that tax officer of that particular district, and they have used 10 to 15% of the solution, 10%, 10 to 15% of the recommendations of that particular research project, and we have been able to solve the problem to a large extent only by implementing to 10 to 15% of the recommendations which we have given, by spotting that this is the problem. So what happened, that one problem of that city has been solved, not to the full extent, but to the some extent. So friends, Nowadays, you might be observing that lot of projects by the funding agencies are given to the teachers, faculty members for solving the social issues. Recently, there were projects from the SSR, that Viksit Bharat projects were there. There are some projects need to evaluate the government schemes. There are some projects which used to provide the suggestions for certain social problem. So, friends, what I want to basically the bottom line of my presentation, the second presentation, is that the management education should not be seen as something which is different from other fields. Management education, the management students basically they draw their acumen, they basically enlighten themselves. They try to solve the social problems by taking inputs from various fields. So they should not be segregated. They should not be seen as someone who is different. So national education, the main purpose of the national education policy is that there should be integration, multidisciplinary approach. So these management students, you will be finding that they might be taking in future the subject like geography, because without knowing the geography as a subject, you cannot solve the, because our eating habits, our clothing habits, all that, our social behavior, it is affected by our geography also. If a MBA graduate is studying geography, the horizon of that student will increase. The dimension, the thinking dimension will increase. He or she will be able to know the intricacies of the problems. Okay, so what I want to say that the times to come, we will observe that the management graduates will also read history, civics, geography, all these subjects in their MBA programs. So friends, this is all from my side. If you have any question, I will learn, I will be happy to address. So it should not be a lecture dominated, friends. So if there is any question, please. I am sorry, because I'm in my village. There is a lot of technical disruptions. This is one of the problem while implementing the national education policy, because there is a lot of technological, you can say, infrastructural gap between the urban and rural area, because it is winter break. So I took it as an opportunity to visit my village, but I have tried my best. So a lot of you might be listening that a lot of nuisance is going on. A lot of voices are coming from the roadside, but I will be happy if you can ask questions. फ्रेंड्स, अगर आप क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहें तो पूछ सकते हैं. लैंग्वेज इज नॉट बैरियर. If you have any question in your mind, I will be happy. There was one question related with swim by some किसी के द्वारा था जी. अगर आप क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहें तो आप पूछ सकते हैं जी. मुझे लगता है कि जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वो मैं जहां तक चैट बॉक्स देख रहा हूं, आप लोगों का क्वेश्चंस नहीं है. तो थैंक यू सो मच. सो आई विल रिक्वेस्ट द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स. तो can we close the session? Thank you so much. जी, थैंक यू सो मच.